cross-cultural communication. So without wasting much of the time, because I already introduced Dr. Dennis in the previous lecture, so you already know him, and about Dr. Yelena, right? So I will just hand it over to Dr. Dennis. Dr. Dennis, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, dear friends, everyone, students, colleagues. I'm really happy, delighted to be here, and it's my special, opportunity to deliver my lecture, to deliver this maybe bit of training session today. And so it's my pleasure to have some insights from Indian colleagues and from you, from the students. So as you know, my expertise, my discipline is cross-cultural communication. So actually last time we discussed what is it, why it is important nowadays, and how can we use these skills and competences in business negotiations. So just let me share my screen and let's continue our discussion. Let's continue. I want to motivate you to communicate as well, and because it's about communication and especially about cross-cultural communication, so that's why it's very important for me as well. So today I want to continue and want to tell you about the very special thing which is really, really important when you meet someone from other country, from other culture. It means it is context, the role of context in cross-cultural communication. Today I want to tell you that context, maybe some of you will explain me what context is. According to Merriam-Webster dictionary, context is the situation in which something happens. So actually what surrounds the main negotiations or business meeting and so on and so on. So not the very purpose of the meeting, let's say the details of the contract and so on, but the environment, the behavior, the style of communication and so on, who is talking to whom, when and where all this happens and so on. So the context matters a lot in some cultures, and in some cultures it's not really important, relevant thing. And today I want to discuss with you the role of context. So I want to start with the example. A couple of years ago, I had a pleasure to explore two different countries in a very short period of time. First, I went to Serbia. It's a southern country in Europe, and this country is supposed to be very high context culture. So it means that in this country, people care a lot about procedures, about interpersonal communication, about some specific, approaches to people and so on and so on. So when I went to this country, the hosts had a great meeting. They had, after conference, we had some, banquet and so on. We had a lot of informal communication. So it was really nice. It was really very good time, in fact, and so on and so on. And in a while, I went to Austria. And I visited Vienna Economic University, and I had a pleasure to meet my Austrian colleagues. So, and it was like a great example for my discipline, because when I was in Serbia, people tried to entertain us, not only me, but all the guests. Yeah, they tried to impress, to show the city, to make us try their local food and so on and so on. And when I was in Austria, it was like, oh, hello, nice to see you. Would you like some tea? No. Oh, okay, let's get straight to business. That's it. So no one actually cares how are you, to asking, how are you? Tell us something about yourself, or tell us something about your journey or about your country and so on and so on. You came for this reason. Let's get straight to this question, and that's it. So was it good or bad? It's not a question. It's just what is familiar, what is acceptable and widely spread in one environment, in one culture, and what is okay, what is normal in another culture. So in fact, it's okay for both. In both countries, I felt really good and I felt really comfortable in communicating with people. But let's imagine that high context cultures are really, really different from low context cultures. And later, I would like to ask you, what about India? What about your culture? Is it high context culture or low context cultures? So let's go step by step. High context cultures. I would like to give such, I don't know if we can use the word definition. that issues or questions that are not directly business related, they are really important. They matter a lot. In fact, when we meet someone from high context cultures, we shouldn't get straight to business. We should spend some time to talk, to build this interpersonal relationship, to find what about family, what about, I don't know, hobbies, what about other things, and so on and so on. In such countries, for example, good examples of these countries are Southern European countries or Middle East countries, for example. Yeah, people in these countries, they're really relationship oriented. First relationship, then business. So it's their choice, it's their approach. So take a look at this slide, please. High context cultures features. How can we understand better countries or cultures which are called high context? First, interpersonal communications. They are really important in these cultures. Is it a good idea or not to build interpersonal relationships in business? I don't know, maybe you will tell me. By the way, what do you think about it? If you were to choose a business partner, would you consider your relationship with this person, your attitude to this person? Is it your friend or maybe some relative, family member, and so on? Or what would you do if you dislike this person? I don't know, you feel anticipation to him or her. What do you think? Is it important for you personally? Like personal relation to a person. Friends, what do you think? If you had a choice to work with a person whom you like, yes, please. Praveen, right? Is it correct?
Praveen, do you want to say something?
Praveen is on a rush. Yeah, somewhere running somewhere. I hope he's okay. Okay, so dear friends, what do you think? Interpersonal relationships, are they important for business decisions? You're studying in business school, so you will make your real life business decisions every day. And interpersonal relationship can affect your decisions. I can formulate it like this. For example, you have an opportunity to work, option A, with a person who is your friend, or option B, with a person whom you have met recently and you don't know, is it a good person or some strange person, and so on and so on. But your friend cannot offer you as good conditions of the goods or some supplies as this stranger. Would you choose your friend anyway, or would you work with a person who is not as pleasant, as close to you? What do you think?
So may I answer?
Thank you very much. Please.
Yes, I would choose my friend because he or she would be more trustworthy than a person I've just met.
But what if the price, for example, you have a restaurant and you are buying, let's say, fish. Okay, you have fish restaurant and you are buying fish to serve in your restaurant, and your friend offer 10% higher price than this stranger for the same quality of fish, but 10%, not like 100%, only 10%, but higher. Will you work with your friends?
For some time being, I would, until and unless I have a strong hold in the market, and then maybe I'd look for more better opportunity.
So first, you would like to have more trustworthy partner, yeah? Only then you will maybe look for other opportunities. But what about your relationship with your friend when you have a stronger position on the market and you will say, no, bye, thank you very much, bye-bye, now I go to someone who give me cheaper price, lower price. Would it be okay for your friend?
I think we all should keep our personal and professional life separate. That would I suggest.
You would like to have business like separately from personal relationship. I understand. Thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank you very much. Okay, great, great. Very, very interesting answer. Thank you. Okay, so in high context cultures, interpersonal relationships, they are much more important comparing to low context culture. Collectivism. In high context cultures, people are more likely to behave like a team, to work in groups. And what is very important, take a look at the third point, that history, ceremonies, positions in a company, status, and so on, all these things are really, really important. So it's very important that you, if you are, let's say, vice president of a company, that you meet also on a level of vice president, not lower. Yeah, it's important for you. Sorry, you would like to add something? You would like to add something? Okay, maybe again some mistake. Don't get into trouble if you meet a person from high context culture. Don't send a partner for negotiations who is in lower position comparing to your partner from this culture. So make sure, double check that you are in the same position. That's how you will be treated like equal, or you will show some respect to this person. The fourth point, intuitive decision making. Very often in high context cultures, in high context countries, people use intuition to make decisions. So they actually think, like in our example earlier today, that okay, he is my or she is my friend, he or she is more trustworthy. So it's intuition, it's not rational decision. Rational decision, it means that I calculate, okay, the cost of the fish is let's say $50 per, I don't know, kilogram if it's very expensive fish, I don't know, from my friend, and 45 from a stranger. I choose stranger because it's cheaper. But in high context cultures, I choose my friend because I trust my friend. I believe that I can even help my friend. I can help him, yeah, because it's his business to make this, I don't know, kind of operations with restaurants. So I help my friend. I can ask for, I don't know, some maybe special conditions, maybe some discount, and so on and so on. So it's about intuition, not about rational decision making. And last but not least, that people in high context cultures really enjoy every day. They are not in a hurry. They try to, they work and have some social life as it's convenient, not if it's like business orientation and so on. So they try to be on a, let's say, normal mode, not to overwork. They try to enjoy life. That's the characteristics of high context cultures. And low context cultures. Yeah, let's compare. In these cultures, and if we talk about extremum, if we talk about polar examples like very low context cultures, not business related issues are less important. I can say that I have a lot of examples of actually interaction with people from these countries. And maybe the greatest example is Germany. And I can say that Germans, for example, they really don't care about interpersonal relationships. It doesn't mean that they're bad or they don't have, like, I don't know, open soul or open mind. It means that they don't really care about these things. They are business oriented. They want to discuss business at the beginning of your conversation. They don't want to have a small talk. Like, you know, in very often in business negotiations, you should start with a small talk. You can discuss weather, you can discuss sports or cuisine or culture and so on. In low context cultures, don't expect to have a long small talk. Hello, how are you? Okay, please sit down and show me your presentation. That's it. So is it good or bad? Again, we don't judge. We don't say it's good or bad. We just need to be ready. You just need to be ready when you meet your partner from the United States, from Japan, from South America, and so on and so on. And the features or characteristics of low context cultures. So low context, people are business oriented. They don't care about interpersonal relationship. So first, how to impress these people? You can use facts, you can use logic, and you should be very open and very direct. What does it mean being direct? Being direct means that you say what you mean, and you mean what you say. If you have some, I don't know, you are not sure about something, you ask again. You say straight in the face of your partner, maybe something unpleasant, but it's not treated like offense, not like being rude. It means like, okay, you just want to clarify if everything is okay. Conversation should be followed by actions. One of my German friend and colleague, he said that sometimes when I meet people from high context cultures, for example, from South America, yeah, with people who like to talk, they really enjoy conversation itself, not negotiations, but conversation. And sometimes he says, sometimes I don't know what is the reason, what is the purpose of the meeting. We just meet and we just talking. It's so exhausting. But for these people, it's, I don't know, it's life. We meet, so we need to talk. We need to exchange ideas. We skip to other subjects and so on and so on. But for people from low context cultures, it's impossible. It's very hard for them because we meet, we have agenda. Okay, we go step by step. First, second, third, calculations, results, possible outcomes, scenarios, and so on. Let's do it. So with people from these cultures, you should try to finish your negotiations with some action, with some signing of document, with some further steps, and so on and so on. Individualism. In these countries, in these cultures, people are much more individualistic comparing to high context cultures. So people in low context cultures, they prefer to work separately. They prefer to work by themselves and to make the major decisions only personally, not to have like, who is supporting this idea, who is against this idea. So it's my responsibility. It's their way of living in their style. Rational decision making. Remember our example about fish restaurant. So if the proposition, if the offer is is better for you, so you choose this offer. Doesn't matter it's your friend or not friend. You may even, I don't know, support other cricket or football team, but you will choose his or her offer because it's more profitable for your business. And pragmatism, it's almost synonym to the previous point. So you must be pragmatic. You should think about profits and about efficiency. So in low context cultures, it's all about efficiency. People try to be like, rational minded and efficiency oriented. So they must try to get the most out of this situation. So in fact, this characteristics of the low context cultures. And take a look at this slide, please. There are examples of these countries. On the upper side of the slide, the countries which are really high context. So in fact, in Japan, in Middle East countries, it's like very high context cultures. So it means that for these people, all non-business related issues, they matter a lot. So it means that if you are going to Japan, you need to consider their culture. You should be careful not to make offensive jokes or offensive notes, not to say something which is unacceptable in this country. The same about Middle East and so on. In the middle, you can see some countries that are going closer to the middle of this continuum. And in the lower part of the slide, you can see countries which are bright examples of low context cultures. If you go into Switzerland, you are most likely you will not discuss too much the country and so on and so on. Okay, you can say definitely it would be pleasant for anyone if you say compliment to a country. If you say to a person, to your partner from Switzerland, oh, I love your nature, you have amazing mountains, for example, yeah, or your famous cheese, or your famous watches, or your famous banking system, and so on, it would be pleasant. But they won't care as much as people, let's say, in Israel or in other Middle East country, if you say something about their culture. If you say something, for example, take a look at this slide again. If you say something to Spanish guy or Italian guy, oh, I love your wines, for example, because they care a lot about wines. They could talk to you for, I don't know, 1 hour, talking to you. Oh, we have a lot of wines. We have a wine culture. Let's try this. I will tell you about that, and so on and so on. If you say to a guy from Switzerland, again, that you have your famous cheese, which is very delicious, he'll say, thank you. Okay. And so get straight to business. So forget about cheese. You are not here to try cheese. You are here for business negotiations. So you just need to adjust your style and your communication to the country and to the culture you are attending, or you are meeting a partner from this culture. Okay, so and now my question to you guys, please, what about India? Where are you in this continuum? I was tempted to add your country, but I thought that no, I want to ask, what do you think? Maybe I'm wrong. Friends, what do you think? Where is India? Please, Satyam, right?
We're in the middle. I think we are in the middle somewhere.
Sorry, in the middle?
Yes,
You think in the middle, but closer to upper side or lower side?
sir, upper side.
Thank you very much. Okay, Sandeep, right? Please, you raised your hand, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So actually, sir, India lies somewhat, sir, around, so from the upper level, somewhere in between, sir, around Greece or Spain.
Around Greece or Spain. So closer to the upper side. Thank you very much. It's very good idea. I also think so, being honest. I also think so. Okay, maybe other opinions. Okay, I believe that you are actually really closer to the high context cultures, and definitely if we talk about India, it's well-known country, it's very well-known country, and it's very popular culture, in fact, so we all know that you are closer to high context cultures. It's true, it's not like good or bad, it's just the reality. And if we talk about Ukraine, for example, if we talk about our country, it's a hard question, being honest, but I believe that we are actually somewhere in the middle. I think that we are really closer to middle because, okay, we are not as high context as Japan and Middle East and even as India, but we are not as low context as Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So we are actually somewhere between, I would say, Italy and UK, somewhere in the middle, actually. But wherever we go, we need to be ready for some particular country and culture. Okay, thank you very much. Let's move on and let's try to prepare ourselves for negotiations. Let's think, what exactly should we expect from our partners if they are from some specific culture or specific country? So let's analyze first what to do if we are from low context culture and our partners are from high context cultures. I would like to make one important note first. Please, let's think about not national, I don't know, the whole nation, but about particular person. For example, can I ask Sandeep? Can I ask you, please? Is it possible? Can you turn on microphone, please? Maybe busy already. I would like to ask anyone. Can you say that you are, for example, yes, please, you raise your hand, superb. Can you tell me, are you typical Indian person or not? Or can I say, can we make generalization that all Indians are high context? Or you know people from India who are more high context and people from India who are not high context? What do you think?
No, we can't say that all the people from India are typical Indian people, or we cannot just put them in one category, because India is a very diverse country by culture. So there are various kind of people with various personality and also thinking and thoughts. So a lot of people in a country are falling into the high culture or context, a high context culture, and also there are people who belongs to the low culture context community. So it's a good mixture of both of the culture, I would say.
Perfect. Can you pronounce your name correctly, please? Because I would like to.
Sukanya.
Sukenya. Okay, Sukenya, thank you very much for your input. It's amazing. And can you describe yourself, please? How would you describe yourself?
I'm not sure that I can describe myself right now and put into any culture because I am not fully aware of about the both of the culture. But for now, I think I belong to the high culture context community.
To high culture. Thank you very much. Very interesting. Okay, so why is it important? Because when we are going to meet our partners from some specific culture, first we have this generalization. If I'm going to India for business meeting, sure, I read something about India, I Google something about India, I watch YouTube videos about India, I talk to, I don't know, to your professor to ask him about India and so on and so on, but still I don't know what to expect, because if I meet a specific person from a specific company, I might be really surprised to realize that this person is not typical Indian. And the same about Ukraine, about America, about Germany, about whatever. Yeah, so we actually are going to talk about real person, your real business partner. So, for example, if you are Indian with low context or Indian with high context culture. So anyway, you will have meetings, I believe, I hope you will all have business meetings on international level and on national level as well. So I suggest that you analyze your partner, your business partner. Doesn't matter nationality, even doesn't matter nationality. Analyze, compare your approach if you are low context and your partner is high context. Just analyze your previous experience, how often it happened that you meet a person and this person is really different from you. You would like to talk about business and this person is talking, or vice versa. Yeah, you would like to have normal, friendly conversation, and your partner says, okay, I have a very short period of time, so let's get straight to business and so on. So you feel uncomfortable. So we should be ready for both situations. And okay, let's now get back to the slide. If your culture is low context, if you are low context culture and your partner is from high context culture, be prepared that non-verbal communication is highly important. What is non-verbal communication? When we talk, we use verbal communication, and we are also using non-verbal communication. It's our gestures, it's our smiling, it's our, I don't know, the approach, how close or how far from a person you are, it's how you behave, are you fast or slow, and so on and so on. For someone, it's not important. Okay, I behave like I behave, but for many people, it's very, very important how you shake hands. Are you hugging your partner or not? Are you polite or not? Are you smiling or not? What about your voice? Is it loud enough or is it too loud? Yeah, all this stuff is very important for high context cultures. Second, status and position in a company. It's very, very important. Like I mentioned before, be sure that you are in the same position with your business partner. If you are lower, he or she might be offended and say like, okay, it's disrespect for me. I am vice president and this guy is the specialist in some department, so we're not on the same level. For someone, it doesn't matter, but for someone, it's very important. Being direct, it might be very unacceptable, and sometimes it might be treated as being rude. So what does it mean? If you want to ask a question which you understand is unpleasant for this person, for example, fish restaurant, yeah, you get the new portion of fish and you feel a bit suspicious that maybe it's not fresh enough. So in low context cultures, it's normal question. Hey, come on, is it fresh fish? Are you sure? Maybe some mistake? But for high context culture, it's like offense, it's like insult, like, okay, are you sure that it is fresh? What do you mean, are you sure that it's fresh? Sure, I know it's my fish. You want to say that I'm cheater, that I'm liar, that I'm selling you some, I don't know, fish with, I don't know, problems and so on, not fresh. What do you mean? You want to have an argument? You want to insult me or so on? So in these cultures, be very, very careful. Just ask this question in a most safe manner. in a most safe mode, let's say. Yeah, so just say, oh, thank you very much. This is another very, I don't know, good delivery from you. But can you please give me this, I don't know, documents? I forgot. I need to use it in my accounting department and so on and so on. So say it in a very, very safe manner, so that your partner, he or she, if they are smart guys, they will understand that something is wrong, but you will not tell it directly. In Chinese business culture, there is a very good term. I really like it. It means not to lose your face. You know, it's especially important for people in China not to lose their face. In Japan as well, by the way, and in some other cultures. So in these cultures, it's unacceptable to lose face. So if someone in presence of other people is asking you such question, is your fish fresh enough? It means that you are, I don't know, you are offended, you feel uncomfortable, you need to give some explanations. It means that you are losing your face. But if the question is, oh, please, can you give the documents so I can use them in accounting department? It's not direct complaint. It means that, okay, I just need some documents. But in my mind, I understand that maybe there is some problem, and I will double check if the fish is fresh. If it happened that it's not fresh, I will just take it back and give you the fresh fish now and so on. But no one will hear actually that I did a bad delivery. I made a mistake. So in high context cultures, it's very, very rude and unacceptable. And the last point here, it might take time to form good interpersonal relationships. What does it mean? If you actually want to have a long-term relationship with a person from high context culture, be sure that you become close, something close to friends with this person. If you are treated like a friend, if you are, like in the beginning we heard, trustworthy person, yeah, if you are like a friend to this partner, somehow it might help you to build a long-lasting business relationship as well. In these cultures, it's extremely important, but we all must understand that it actually takes a lot of time, because to become friends, what about real friends in real life? Yeah, it takes time to become real friends. That's imagine how it's happening in business and in cross-cultural relationship. When you are from other country or from other culture, it's not very easy to have friends from other cultures at a very short period of time. You need to take time. Okay, and what about opposite situation? If you are high context person, if your culture is high context, and you care a lot about all these things, and you meet a person from low context cultures, what should you expect and be prepared for? First, they understand your words directly. What does it mean? If you say, I need documents for my accountant department, so they understand that you actually need these documents for accountant department. They don't think that something wrong with fish. They will just say, okay, send them the documents, no problem. But they won't double check it. So be ready to tell them, guys, your fish is smelly, something wrong with your fish. Please, let's check it and maybe do some actions. Next, professional level is much more important than your position in company or your, I don't know, are you professor or doctor or, I don't know, honorary someone and so on and so on. They care only about your professional level. They won't check, okay, the documents, the status is important, but not as important as for high context cultures. It means that you need to prove that you are a great professional, not just to show your business card when it's written that you are honorary professor or something like that. It means that you need to prove your achievements, show track record. Just tell me, what have you done in your previous company? Why should I hire you? Why should I have business with you? Show me that you are bringing profits to a company and so on. So professional level is number one. And connected to this, the next point, that effectiveness is the main criteria of success. It means that people from low context culture, they are business oriented and they want to achieve results as soon as possible. They don't want to waste time. They don't want to build relationships. They want to earn money. So they will ask you for some, remember, facts, calculations, and so on. They will ask you for some economically, I don't know, economical forecasts, some figures, some calculations, some facts that can persuade them to have a business with you. It means that they want something pragmatic and rational. And the last point, being direct is not rude, it's just easy way to clarify things. Be ready to hear. Let's imagine that these guys haven't met me before and they haven't heard all these amazing things I'm telling you. Let's imagine that they don't know how to behave with high context representatives, so they actually just direct, they are not rude. Be ready that they can use such word combinations and they don't want to offend you. So that's what we need to know to be more or less ready for these negotiations. But definitely only practice can help us and can help you to have a good, I don't know, successful negotiations with people which are completely different from you. So now we have another question, please. I really appreciate your inputs today. It's really amazing and really smart. Can you give me, please, some example or maybe some your recommendation from your personal experience? Have you ever had such, I don't know, problems meeting people who are quite different from you on negotiation level or maybe in everyday life? Maybe some will share his or her experience, please. Have you ever met such people who are completely different and you felt uncomfortable with them? Yes. Oh, Lavanya, hello. Nice to see you again and hear you. Please, maybe you will start.
Yes. Yeah. Good afternoon. Good evening, sir. My name is Lavanya, as you know. It's great to interact again with you, sir. So one of the experiences that I would like to share from my end is I'm actually a South Indian. So there's a small differentiation between South Indians. So South Indians are usually, people from the southern states are usually very conservative, quite religious and very, what do you say, kind of reserved. And North Indians, they kind of have a more of an open culture. They're kind of much more friendly, much more approachable. They're kind of, they don't have this stigma of boys and girls kind of differentiation between men and women, like girls and guys. But me being a South Indian, when I came for my higher education to North India, to Dehradun. So being a South Indian, whenever we want to say something as a girl, we usually say completely different in a very indirect way. And in North India, people tend to be very straight, be to the point for what they want. And sometimes, in that kind of situations, weird. And moreover, it's another experience would be like a guy and a girl. Both a guy in South, girls and guys are usually not allowed, like in the small villages and stuff. In the big cities, yeah, they're okay, but the kind of touch and kind of things, they're a little reserved. But in the North, the first day I came to college, a guy came behind me and he patted me on the back. And usually that doesn't happen in South if you don't know that person very well, until unless that boy is a very, very close friend of yours or a brother or a cousin, then that kind of touching happens. But in North, it's very open, kind of like a bit of American culture. So this is something very personal, which I have experienced myself.
Very interesting example. Thank you very much, Lavanya. It's amazing because your example was about the same country, but North and South. Hello. Thank you very much for turning on your camera.
Yes.
So it's amazing because in the same country, different regions and different cultures. It's very interesting. Thank you. Okay, Sukanya, if I'm correct, yeah, you raised your hand. Please, can you share? Are you from South or from North? Let's continue our communication about regions of your beautiful country. Are you with us or not? Maybe some problems with connections. Okay, who can confirm or decline the words of Lavanya? Maybe some people from North will say, no, we are also very warm and, I don't know, very gentle. What do you think? Please, you are back. Sukanya, please. You're muted. You raised your hand, but you're muted.
Yes, sir. Really sorry. I had some connection issues.
Typical Bengali.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, we hear you.
Yes, sir. Actually, I wanted to share an experience. I haven't done any job yet, but I had done a project before, and my project was to convince someone to take an application. As I'm from technical background, and our final year project was to make an application and to convince another group to take that application. That was the goal of our project. So when I started to convince the person, at first I wanted to exchange some pleasantries, but that person just came to direct in the business, and they just wanted to know what I want from them. So that made me really uncomfortable to even give them my pitch, which I have prepared before. So it was my experience before.
Thank you. Very interesting. What do you think about industries? About, you said about application development. So, what about differences between people representing different industries? For example, IT industry and I don't know, restaurant industry, higher education, business school, and I don't know, some other industry like construction sites and so on. What do you think about these differences? Do they matter in communication? Please. Okay. Maybe some problems with connection. Okay, so about North and South, it's very interesting for me, especially. I think that in Ukraine, we can also say that in some regions, people behave and communicate in a bit different manner. But that's important to have common language to understand each other. I believe in India it's the same. I think that in India, people from North and from South, they can find this understanding and communication between each other. It's very, very important and interesting. Okay, friends, if you have any questions about this part of my presentation, please ask. If not, we can get closer to the brainstorming session, which I announced earlier. Okay, yes, please, again, Sukenya, please, you are headliner of our meeting today. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Actually, my question was, what is the most valuable advantage of being in the high context level culture over the low context level culture, or vice versa, according to you?
Thank you very much. Thank you for your question. It's very interesting. My question, my answer would be rather short. There are no, I don't know, preferences, or there are no advantages, because it's just different cultures, just different approaches. I would say that maybe people from low context cultures, they believe that their advantage is their effectiveness, that they are more business oriented. So it's easy, everything is simple for them. But for high context culture representatives, they believe that they really enjoy life much more than people from low context cultures. I often have this discussion with different people on different, maybe even cultures and so on, that if we compare a person, let's say, classical example, the United States of America. I have friends, colleagues working there, and classical American style, especially, I mean, in big cities, not in villages or small cities, I mean, let's say New York. People work from early in the morning until night, and they earn a lot of money. They actually earn a lot of money. but they don't have enough time to spend this money to enjoy life. And people in, let's say, Southern European countries like Italy or Spain, they try to have this work-life balance, and they spend much more time with their families, with their friends, drinking coffee, looking at the nature, at the sea, and so on and so on. But they earn, let's say, 4 times less money. Who is more happy? I have no answer. I honestly have no answer. I believe that every person should find his or her secret of success or secret of happiness. Yeah, if you really enjoy your life with your amount of money, so it's perfect, it's great. If you feel that you are you have some problems, you need to earn more, but you just don't want to work more, maybe it's a problem, because actually we need to be successful. That's why I'm not saying it to give a compliment to your business school, but I really think so. I believe that studying in a business school is a great idea. Actually, you can get some knowledge, some competences that can help you to be more effective, to keep your high context culture, but to earn more money. So education might be a key. But again, back to your question, what is better, advantages of high context or low context? I believe that there are no advantages. They can be treated as advantages only by representatives of these cultures. I'm low context, I'm effective. I'm high context, I'm, I don't know, relaxed, chilled, and satisfied with life. So what is better? Our main idea is to find a key for effective communication with anyone. Yeah, that's the key. That's the main idea. We need to find the key to high context person. If you are going to Japan, just talk a bit and get into their culture. If you go into low context culture country, sorry, if you go into low context country, don't expect to spend a lot of time exploring the culture. Be prepared for be like a robot, to be maximum to bring maximum efficiency. That's it. But I suggest that what I really like is the idea that we can learn from many cultures. We can learn something from here, from there, and traveling can help, communication can help, such virtual exchanges can help. I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. That's maybe the best what we can say about this event today. Okay, some other questions? Did I answer your question? Sorry.
No, sir, it's fine.
It's fine. Thank you very much. Okay, colleagues, thank you. I stopped sharing my presentation, and I want to invite you to some discussion. Now I will share my screen again now, but with another not presentation, but with another thing. Okay, I want to tell you a couple of words about my YouTube channel. We're going online now, right, Dr. Raghvendra? Is it correct? We're live on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. So I see that you are all digitally savvy, you are all digitally prepared. So I want to discuss with you a bit about Indian culture. I have a YouTube channel about cross-cultural communication. I just shared in our chat a link to this channel. So please, I invite you, if you are interested in different communication styles and about preparation to intercultural or cross-cultural communication in business, welcome. You can watch videos about different national communication styles. My videos normally are interviews with people from these countries, with local experts who are sharing their ideas and their advice how to communicate with them. So, and normally my interviews, they consist of 5 simple questions. But 2 of them I want to discuss with you now. 2 typical classical questions. I don't have Indian videos so far, by the way, but I really need it. But I want to ask 2 of my typical questions to you, and please, you can just turn on your microphone or you can use chat. First, I type it in chat now. What topics for a small talk with Indian partners would you recommend? I want to explain. In business negotiations, before, as I mentioned today, before real business negotiations, there is a small talk discussion. Normally, as I said, it might be short talk about weather, sports, culture, maybe cuisine, and so on and so on. And normally, when we are going to some country, we need to know what topics are pleasant for the locals. And I have some stereotypes about India. I have my own vision what to discuss with Indian partners. But it's my suggestion to discuss now, to have a little brainstorming, and please type in chat or tell what topics might be really pleasant for all Indians or for the majority of Indians. I can give, if Dr. Raghvendra, if you would like to join, I would appreciate it, because you are an expert. You might say a lot. Let me say first suggestion. I would say cricket. Is it correct?
It's correct.
It's correct? I see that in chat, Ashish, thank you very much. Cricket. So you see, because I know that in Ukraine, for example, we have number one sport is football. Yeah, football, soccer. And I know that in India there is a football league and so on, but definitely cricket is sports number one. It's number one, and the Indian team is extremely strong and very successful. So that's why if I go to India, I should talk about cricket. What else? Food. I see a suggestion to talk about food. What kind of food? What should I say to my Indian colleagues? What is your favorite dish? Satyam, what do you think about food?
Sir, like I live in the north region. So
Okay.
my favorite food is like, sir, non-veg chicken, sir. Like there is a famous dish, sir, butter chicken.
Chicken.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But what about curry? What about with curry, right or not?
Yes,
With
sir.
sauce?
Curry chicken.
Curry. Okay, so chicken and curry. Perfect. Okay. And what about spices? There is a stereotype. Maybe Dr. Yelena will support me. We have a strong, I don't know, promotion, strong popularity of Indian spices. You know, like spices equals India. So all the best spices in the world should come from India. Is it correct? Is it true? Spices are still national, like, you know, achievement or not?
Yes,
It's true.
sir.
It's true.
It's true. Okay. Spices.
In fact, way back in the history, you know, maybe around 1,000 years back or a little so, the main exports from India were comprises of spices, particularly.
Yeah, exactly. That's it's well-known fact. So that's why maybe still we believe that Indian spices are amazing. They are the best in the world, and so on, because you have this culture of producing spices. Perfect. Traveling, I see it's a direct message, but please, can you, again, Sukenya, can you please tell, what do you mean by traveling? You mean traveling in India to discuss something about your country, like geographically, right?
Yes, sir. In India, you can find hills to sea, to desert, everything. So we can talk about that also.
So it's very diverse culture, climate, very diverse geography, so we can say. And what, like some famous name, maybe some mountain I should name, or some river? What do you think?
River, you can talk about Ganga. It also has some mythological values. And in mountains, you can talk about Tiger Hill or Kanchenjunga. It's Mount Everest. And in desert, you can Rajasthan. It has Jaisalmer, so it is desert.
Okay, thank you very much. Perfect. The river Ganga and the mountains. Amazing. Perfect. And to mention that I know that there are deserts in India and so on. Okay, what else? What else? Maybe one more suggestion and we go to the second question.
Maybe culture. Most Indian would like to talk about the culture.
The culture, yeah?
Culture, including history.
What specific, maybe some specific fact I should mention, some very famous.
I suppose historical monuments, the most famous being Taj Mahal. Most people visit India to visit Taj Mahal.
Absolutely. Perfect. And about your famous leader, about Mahatma Gandhi, should I mention his name?
Yes, of course you can.
It
Everyone
would be
knows him.
pleasant for Indians. What do you think?
Most people would like to talk about, but then the youngsters, because they have not, this is my opinion, because most youngsters might not be aware about in depth that what Mr. Mahatma Gandhi used to be. He's called as the father of the nation, isn't it? So he's the one who has a huge influence on Indians' minds. He's the one who has given a direction to the country. And he's the one who has practiced the big concept called non-violence. So he was the one who was, you know, largely instrumental in getting independence for India. So he's one among the greatest personalities India ever made. Modern India, I'm talking about.
Thank you very much. By the way, I just remember that one of my best friends used to have a t-shirt here in Ukraine. He used to have a t-shirt with Mahatma Gandhi picture. Really, honestly, yeah. He is historian. He works in National Museum of Ukrainian History, and he has such t-shirt. And he is really thinks very good things about your leader. So it's very interesting, by the way. Thank you very much. And
look, Dr. Danis, person like Mahatma Gandhi, they don't belong to one country. They are asset for the entire world.
Exactly. That's what my friend was thinking, probably, because he was not thinking like it's only it's Indian person, but it's actually the belonging to the humanity, to the whole world. You are correct. And very, very brilliant idea from you, by the way, that we should also adjust our communication to generation and to gender, and to other social characteristics. Because, for example, with maybe Generation Z, with youngest people on the labor market, we should maybe discuss something about new creative ideas, new startups, digital startups that came from India, and it would be pleasant for them. It would be also very nice. It's interesting. It's really interesting, by the way. Thank you very much. Okay, and my second question, I just put it in the chat: topics to avoid in conversation, in order not to be rude, not to offend the locals. Please, friends, what do you think? Give us some priceless recommendation. What should we not say to our Indian partners and colleagues? Maybe not to joke about, not to, I don't know, to make a bad laugh or something like that, which might be, I don't know, very simple for us, but very offensive for you. What can it be? What sensitive topics? Nothing is sensitive for Indians. Everything is fine. You are very open.
Friends, don't be afraid that your answer might be anything, right? So don't be afraid of anything. Just whatever comes to your mind, you can share.
Absolutely, anything. Yeah, there are no mistakes. It's impossible to make a mistake here. Just your ideas,
Maybe like politics, not much people talk about that. Customs and traditions, somebody right,
Customs and traditions, yeah, maybe some customs that might be, if I say something about one of your custom or tradition that is funny for me, but sensitive for you, let's say, for example, like, gender inequalities. You see gender inequalities, for example, thank you very much, Hasrat, for this input, but being honest, I want to be honest. I don't even have this stereotype toward modern India. I don't even know about problems with gender inequalities. Is it still actual question for India, like gender inequality?
In the rural areas, like Dr. Danis, in the rural areas, which, where you don't have, high literacy rate and so on. So there, just, it's not practiced at a large scale, but a reminiscence still you can observe there. To some extent, in the backward areas, probably where you don't have better connectivity, better transport, better digital, connection with these areas. So in those areas, probably you have some degree of gender inequalities. Still, it's being there.
I think the situation in big cities are improving significantly.
Yes. In big cities, I don't find any gender inequalities.
I even have a connection with one of my Indian colleagues who is in communication in one of the universities in Bangalore, if I'm correct. And she is a female, she is a lady, but we never even discussed this problem. So I believe in big cities, it's almost don't exist. Thank you very much for another suggestion, religious habits, religion. Yeah. traditionally religion is supposed to be a very sensitive topic, yeah, and it's normally people try to avoid it in conversation in any culture. So at first meeting, at least at the first meeting, because start discussion with religious topics is probably not the best idea. When you know better your partner, you can discuss it. Yeah, but definitely it's very sensitive topic for many people in all over the world. And also, like you, Dr. Raghvendra, said that politics is probably a sensitive topic, yeah, because you never know whom your partner is supporting, which political party or which the president, is he supporting him or her or not, and so on and so on. The relationship with your neighbors, maybe it's also sensitive. Like Ukraine has a war with Russia now, and India had, I don't know, maybe not the best relationship with Pakistan, probably. Yeah, I think that it's sensitive topics, and you can talk about these topics only if you know your partner very well and you know his or her position. Yeah, and my suggestion to all friends, if you would like to discuss such topics, from my experience, I suggest that you are not making statements, you ask questions. Yeah, it's always best idea to ask questions, because if I would like to know something about your religion, I ask question. Can you please tell me? If I want to know about your political situation, about your situation with neighbors, I would say, oh, can you tell me what is the situation with your neighbors? And I will get information from you, not from media, not from, I don't know, some sources, but I will get directly from my partner. So I would be sure that we have understanding, we understand each other. And it's not the topic, simple topic. So that's why these topics are sensitive. That's why they are supposed to be avoided at the first meeting. Okay, and my final question, and I hope it will be more pleasant for everyone. And okay, I will type it. Local words or expressions. Pleasant for Indian partners. Okay, so some local word or expression that we as foreigners might use in our communication with our Indian partners that might be really funny and pleasant for you. So I use this word, and you, wow, how is possible that you know this word? Namaste. I already know namaste. Thank you very much. I even used it. Namaste is well known. How to translate namaste? It's thank you very much, right? Thank you. Okay. No, sorry. Namaste is hello.
Yeah, namaste is hello.
Sorry, my mistake. Namaste is hello. Definitely. What else? Can you type thank you? How should I say thank you? Very much. Not just thank you, but sincerely thank you. Teach us some Indian, Hindi, please. Dhanyavad, right? Dhanyavad. Can you pronounce it correctly? Not funny like me.
Yeah, no, we call it dhanyavad. You pronounce it correctly. We call it dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad. You see, if I were going to have business negotiations, I would say near the mirror, and I would say it 100 times to pronounce it correctly, to please my partners. Oh, another some. Oh, I see a lot of options now. It's amazing. Okay, Sukenya, please don't laugh at me. Jai Sri Ram. Is it correct? Jai Sri Ram. What does it mean?
Yes,
Dr.
sir,
Raghvendra?
it's correct.
What does it mean? I hope I didn't say something bad.
It is like saying hello to, look, in the regions, actually Lord Ram happened to be the, he's a god for believers in India. So whenever you say Jai Shri Ram, it is a way of greeting somebody. It's a way of saying hello to them.
It's like people greet to each other. I understand. And what is another, Vipul, if I'm correct pronouncing your name, can you please read it, because it's too hard for me. Oh, it's something. Well, thank you very much, right?
People, you can unmute yourself and you can say it.
Yes, please. Let it be a great ending of our session today. Can you close the meeting, people? Some problems with microphone, maybe.
Okay, might be.
Oh, Ashish, yeah, please, you raised your hand. Please, can you help us?
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
And what does it mean?
It means, sir, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Abhab and Abhabhat Dhanyavad.
बहुत धन्यवाद sir.
Abhabhat Dhanyavad. Okay, perfect. It means thank you in Ukrainian. Дякую. Okay, dear friends, thank you so much for your, for your participation, for your active discussion. You made this meeting, you made this session really, lively and active and useful for all. Thank you very, very much. And you taught me some Indian language now. Perfect. I'm ready now for the further meetings. Please, we have a couple of minutes left. If you have any questions, please ask. I would be more than happy to answer. Please, guys, if you have any questions. It's our final, maybe not final, but for today, it's our final meeting. So please feel free to ask anything you are interested in.
Friends, it will be very important for you. Many of you might be getting a job in multinational companies, and then it will become very relevant for you how to talk with somebody, how to initiate the discussion, because your excellence, your success in multinational assignment will depend upon that.
Exactly.
So if you have any queries relating to that, you please ask. We have the best person to answer the questions.
Yeah, or if you are interested, you can text me later. I would be more than happy to answer. My email is available, so it's not a problem. And also my channel, you can reach me there and so on. So I had a great pleasure to meeting you and both these sessions. And thank you very much, Dr. Raghvendra. It was my special pleasure to communicating with you and your students. It's amazing opportunity. Thank you very much. Okay, no questions. I see no questions probably.
Possibly, actually, what happens now when it comes to talk to somebody who is from a different, who's different, maybe culturally, maybe linguistically, that is a problem across the world. Whenever I'm addressing so many students from different countries during my sessions, but I face the same problem, right? Many of them might be having excellent ideas, but they don't come forward to share their views and what they think of it. Ultimately, the problem related with the cross-cultural communication only. They may feel shy whether if I ask, should I ask it or should I not? So
exactly. But you are right to encouraging them, yeah, because you are saying that feel free to share your opinion. No, nothing is wrong, nothing is right here, yeah. Just we are exchanging opinions and ideas, and it's so normal. And I like the atmosphere, by the way. I like the democratic atmosphere at your session. So there is no hierarchy and so on and so on. So we are very open. We are happy to hear you. We are listening to you. We are learning from you. We are happy to share our experience. So it's actually exchange, more about exchange of ideas, not like delivering some orders on something like that. So in fact, you have a great chance to learn in this business school. It's really good.
Truly. So I think there is no question. Students, if you have any question, you can divert them to me, and later on I'll forward them to Dr. Dennis, and probably you can get the best answers to your queries and questions. With this, I would like to convey my thanks. I would like to propose the vote of thanks. I say my sincere thanks to the top management of ICFA University, Dehradun, and Kyiv National Economic University, Ukraine, for letting us have this opportunity wherein the faculties from the two countries, two institutions can interact with each other, with the students of these two institutions of eminence. I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, officiating Professor Dr. Hargopal Reddy, our Registrar Sir, Brigadier Rajiv Sethi Sir. My sincere thanks to Dr. Yelena Prokhreva, who has taken a lot of pains to, to get this memorandum of understanding, get it signed, and then so that the exchanges become possible. And then our guest, our expert for today's session, Dr. Dennis Lifinsey. I'm sure that his knowledge sharing, the way he has communicated, the way he has delivered on cross-cultural communication in modern business organizations, it will be very useful for the students, because they will, many of them actually, they are from the MBA second year students. For them, the placement is on. So if they are lucky and they will get some multinational assignment, multinational companies to work with, I think that, I'm sure that these inputs in the 2 sessions from Mr. Dennis is going to benefit them a lot and is going to help them to get a good job. And I also thank our students for the patient listening and their active participation in the classroom discussions. I also thank my IT team headed by Mr. Praveen. Thank you very much, Praveen. And I also see that one of my colleagues was also there, Dr. Kumar Swarab. He was also there for the most of the time and attended the session. So thank you very much again. My sincere thanks, and thanks a lot to everyone. We can end the meeting. Praveen? And thank you very much, Dr. Dennis. See you soon. And thank you very much, Dr. Yelena. See you next week, maybe, right?
Thank you very much.